eBay has just been ordered to pay millions of dollars to customers after it has been found out that they were being harassed by people within the company. I know it sounds like this weird scene from a movie or something like that, but this one actually happened. Now, we've all had some sort of issues with e-commerce sites, right? I mean, maybe you ordered something from Amazon and maybe got the wrong size shoes or something like that. Maybe you ordered from Etsy and maybe the color wasn't right. And maybe you were scammed on Craigslist. I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of different things that could possibly go wrong with online orders, right? Which is kind of like why I like to typically go into brick and mortar stores whenever I have time or whenever I can. But I think one common scam that was done through Amazon was one where people were either selling like iPhones, maybe PS5s or something like that. But instead of getting those items, customers were instead receiving like bricks in the mail. I mean, that's pretty messed up, especially if you're trying to order something like maybe a birthday or Christmas gift. But anyway, but this one with eBay, it's a little bit different. One that could possibly also happen to us given how social media has evolved in such a short period of time. Just so you know, this one isn't one that you should watch while you're eating.
It's really unbelievable, the scale of retaliation involved in this story. It sounds like something out of a movie, except it's actually absolutely true. The Justice Department says former eBay executives ordered their workers to launch a harassment and intimidation campaign against a Massachusetts couple, David and Ina Steiner. The couple wrote an online newsletter that eBay executives consider too critical of the company. So eBay workers started harassing the couple in 2019, sending them boxes of live spiders and cockroaches and bloody pig masks, and even sending threatening emails. Their home address was also posted online, inviting scores of people to fake yard sales and parties at their property. The couple says all of this resulted in permanent emotional, financial, and reputational damages. In 2020, 7 former eBay employees admitted they played a part in that harassment campaign. At least one former high-ranking executive was sentenced in 2022 to nearly 5 years in prison. The Justice Department also charging eBay with stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice.
Wow. And just to kind of clarify this report, he wasn't talking about time-traveling eBay employees in 2027, okay? He was talking about the 7 employees that played a part in this campaign against this couple. So yeah, like, what do you think about that, guys? Now, I know that criticizing companies and their service is a normal thing, but do you think that harassing people back is the right way to go about it? I mean, like, I know that, driving a business down to the ground is not the nicest thing in the world to do, but it really depends on if they're telling the truth in their review, right? Now, speaking of driving businesses to the ground, it's not enough that consumers are staying away from establishments as they struggle with inflation and, of course, the rising price of goods, right? Some businesses even say that they're facing challenges that are completely out of the norm. And this one is talking about the challenges that they face with this Formula One racing and their temporary bridge.
The race has been over for almost 2 months, but this temporary bridge off Flamingo and Koval is still there. F1 used it to quickly transport vehicles and workers around the race. Surrounding businesses say every single day it drives away customers. They want it gone as soon as possible before the Super Bowl. The county says they'll have to wait until after.
These politicians have the power to destroy, literally destroy, a private business, pays his taxes, and they don't care.
Wade Bone doesn't mince words how much he and his workers have lost last year from F1 construction and disruptions. This temporary bridge at Flamingo and Koval is in front of Jay's Market. Fewer cars drive by. It's harder for regulars to reach him. He says since April, profits plummeted by $4 million, and he let go of 7 workers. He says he was told this bridge would be gone after the race was over.
It's like beating your head up against the wall. They hear you, they tell you, we'll try to make it right, and then they do nothing.
Time is money, and every day this bridge is standing, their revenues are falling.
Do you ever feel the same way as these business owners? When you keep trying to get in touch with lawmakers and government officials, but it kind of feels like you're just talking to a brick wall or something? And I'm certain that a lot of seniors and people who have received fixed income like Social Security, SSI, SSDI probably feel the exact same way, right? But what do you think about this? Now, some say that the bridge is helping while others hate the fact that it's there. I guess my question is how sturdy is this thing, right? Because if it's meant to be temporary, then I'm not so sure it can actually, hold up much longer or be safe for anyone. Now, speaking of safety, let's talk about JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon and his latest statement regarding major cities right here in our country. Check this out.
San Francisco is in far worse shape than New York. What is it that makes an attractive city? It's parks, it's art, But it's definitely safety. You know, it's jobs, it's job creation, it's the ability to have affordable housing. It's all those things. So it's not any one thing, but any city who doesn't do a good job, it will lose its population.
Anybody here who used to live in San Francisco or, is currently living there right now? How much of what Jamie Dimon said is true? Because I want to hear from you guys directly. Boots on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as I've heard from folks and seen in the comments, the local government in San Francisco has done a pretty good job if the job was to destroy a once beautiful city. But again, I'm going off of what you guys are telling me in the comments. So if that's accurate, then people there are possibly facing some new challenges. And since we're on the topic of these challenges, 2024 is definitely shaping up to be this huge hurdle for a lot of Americans.
Daily expenses remain high due to inflation. More Americans are relying on their credit cards. It means that more people are taking on debt so they can maintain their lifestyles. Xavier Walton joins us live with more on the struggle being felt by millions. I gotta say, Xavier, this just can't be good.
It's not good, and that's exactly why, Kelsey, credit card debt keeps going higher and higher. You mix that current lifestyle, and then also you got inflation on top of that. And hey, I know Christmas is over, but you mix in the holiday shopping season. A lot of people spending a lot of money, record holiday shopping. It is a recipe for disaster, if you will, when you're talking about debt. And really, when you think about it, across the country, credit card spending was up in the third quarter at major banks. That includes 9% at JP Morgan & Chase, the nation's largest bank, and 15% at Wells Fargo. Consumers also reportedly, they're taking longer to pay their bills and then putting everything from food to college tuition on credit cards. They're swiping away. They're swipe happy. Financial experts say right now consumers are even dipping into their savings.
You see, credit card delinquencies have now surpassed pre-pandemic levels, guys. I'm not making this up. In fact, it's now getting to a point where consumers are going to have a tough time just kind of keeping their heads above water, even if they're wearing those little floaty things in the pool. And that's if they're not already drowning in debt already. I mean, it's so bad that all stages of credit card delinquencies, I mean, that's 30, 60, and 90 days past due, are all higher compared to 2019. And right now, outstanding credit card balances have just surpassed $5 trillion. But what are you guys hearing when you turn on the news? Oh, times are good. The economy's stronger than ever. Inflation's going down to zero, or whatever else they want to tell us, right? But when you get down to the actual numbers and what Americans are really feeling, then you kind of pretty quickly see that things are not necessarily getting better, at least not for everyone. They are in fact getting much, much worse. But of course, there is a chance that interest rates are cut, right? Because that's what's weighing a lot of this debt down. Well, many experts believe that the interest rates are not going to be lowered anytime soon, especially if the Fed wants to get to that elusive 2% inflation target that they keep talking about. And on that note, do any of you guys believe that inflation is at 3.3% or something? Like when you go to Walmart or Target, is that what you're seeing? Because I want to tell you that there's something wrong with that number. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this and this whole situation that many of us are in. And before I go, I just want to thank you guys for your time. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, be safe.